That's all it is.
Yeah, honey, I know. I know. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you coming on. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, honey. Yeah, I'm in the studio. I'm about to go. Damn, yeah, it was only 1 or 2 pictures, and it was just 'cause. 10, yeah. It was 10. You counted them. Huh. Well, I liked them all because she had a fat ass. I gotta go. Love you, bye. Taking no shorts. Coming right up.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
You see, all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is believe. Welcome to Taking No Shorts podcast. I am your host, Jay Grizzy Green, a.k.a. Mr. Leave No Meat on the Bone,
Exactly.
a.k.a. The Great Grizzo,
Exactly.
a.k.a. The Great Grizzolini,
Exactly.
a.k.a. The Black Dick Cavett, and last but not least, a.k.a. Jenny's grandson and Wanda's son. Welcome to episode 62 of Taking No Shorts podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. Also, every Friday around these times, you'll see this live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Twitch is now up, and I got a TikToky. The nieces and nephews get on me about calling it TikToky, but
it's TikTok.
Yes, a TikTok.
Yeah.
But I'm on that too at Taking No Shorts pod. Great pod tonight, great live stream tonight. We're going to talk about what is in the news, what everybody, well, at least if you have half a brain and have been following, we're going to be talking about the 2024 election cycle, pre and post debate. Let me introduce my guest now. Matter of fact, you were on the premiere episode of Taking No Shorts podcast.
Exactly.
She is 1/3 of 8 No Half Stepping with Marcus J, representing on Legacy Internet Radio. She also has her own content platform, which is...
It is the Hustler Time and the 6580 pod that is launching officially tomorrow.
There you go, ladies.
Bringing it back.
A friend of mine, and hopefully she'll be a friend to you, Miss Steph B.
Thank you. Yes.
Let that simmer a little bit.
Steph B, a.k.a. the Brooklyn Betty, a.k.a. the Brooklyn Betty with the business breakdown.
B.
You know.
B. And then there's another B off camera over there. We'll talk about
it later. Yeah.
Later. Hey, sister.
How you doing, bro?
Oh.
Yeah. It's a real deal.
I was thinking about did the stream during the debate. It was a little herky-jerky, but I had everybody that I reached out to, I don't think they could have that type of debate on air or online. I got the vibes from when I met you that you were politically inclined. You do not have to say where you fall on the political spectrum. I am going to say mine first. So to be fair, even though we're not journalists here, but I just want folks to know what perspective as a Black Gen Excellence and running for president of all Black Gen X's on the internet. You dig? You see? So I just want to let you know, I am a center-left guy. You know, I'll start in the center, and then I'm going to work my way to the left. If you go too far, if you go to Bernie, you lost me.
Yeah.
You lost me. And we ain't even talking about that other side of the spectrum.
Okay.
So do you want to first, let me give you that opportunity to set up so when we're having this conversation, the audience know where you're coming from.
I think years ago I would have said I am staunchly center left, fiscally conservative, socially liberal. And as I've watched how things have progressed over the last 8 to 10 years, maybe even a little bit longer, I find it harder to be centrist. Yeah. So I would not say I will never be a Bernie bro, as they say. Yeah. I could never go that far. But I certainly,
you pay taxes.
I guess. Exactly. But what I would say is it's getting harder and harder to agree or find someone who says they're centrist that I agree with.
Where did the center go?
It disappeared when you know, what's so funny is the Tea Party was, for me, the line in the sand where they were saying things that were extreme to me then.
Strange enough, as soon as somebody that didn't look like Bill became president, this Tea Party thing came about. So yeah, I wanted to have a conversation with someone about what in the hell. I got something for that.
Okay.
I got.
Holy Jesus.
That's what it is.
Holy Jesus.
What is that?
The evangelicals are going to get us.
Yeah, what is going on, Steph?
You know,
am I scared?
I think that anyone who isn't reasonably concerned, and then if you want to jump a little bit over the center line, fearful, are not paying attention. You know, at the end of the day, whether or not, I think the people who aren't as concerned have either committed that they just know what the outcome's going to be. Mm-hmm. None of us know that. Mm-hmm. Or two, they don't know policy. They don't really understand policy. I mean, years ago, Hillary used the term deplorable. We all got upset about it, right? Not we all, but the people that she was calling deplorable, who have proven to be deplorable, were upset. But there's also a term called low information voters, which is the average voter. The average voter is going off of a feeling, not always a fact.
Not paying attention until after late.
Yeah, or, you know.
Or paying attention at all.
Or not paying attention because politics has always been delivered over the head instead of across the plate. So you're supposed to go straight down the middle, give the people what they need to understand in layman's terms. And over the years, in order to be until Trump, ironically, who's as plain spoken as it's going to get, and that's simply for lack of ability to have any nuance. When you look at most voters, they are not clear on the policies. They're not paying attention to political news on a daily basis. So they may not be aware of how fearful they should be or how concerned they should be.
When I said what the hell is going on, I think that you answered that properly, in my opinion. You're saying that what's going on is people not paying attention.
People are not paying attention.
So we're two people that are paying attention. So let's try to help the audience jump in on this, how I can, without me getting up and shaking my tail feather, getting attention, right? Because I will get up here. You see how
I like this subdued Grizz.
Yeah, right.
I do. Thank you.
Look, check this out. Did you see the debate?
I did.
Did you hear up until the debate what they were saying, what the pundits were saying they were doing with Joe? They were sending Joe up to Camp David. Nobody goes to Camp David anymore.
The only people who go to Camp David is to relax. It's usually like relaxation, meetings with your staff that you want to have off premise. And no one really, Camp David was not a thing.
It was a presidential retreat.
Yeah.
Now every president probably since the first or second Bush had their own
little place they go.
Retreat, Mar-a-Lago or something. Anyway.
I don't know about a Mar-a-Lago, but okay.
Know, right?
Let's not minimize it because really, I want to make sure that in the time that I'm on cam with you, we don't minimize the things that we have been minimizing.
Yeah.
We've
gotten conditioned.
We are very conditioned. We're very conditioned to take something and say something like Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago and President Obama going to Hawaii for 2 weeks with his family are very, very different things. And it all ties into how comfortable we've gotten with someone grifting in the White House.
Oh, God, that's the good word. I put in the chyron at the screen. We all know about that guy. Here's what I saw and what got me jumping out of my britches a couple of Thursdays ago. They told me, the audience told me, or the pundits told me that Joe Biden was preparing, appreciate you, shout out to you, Glenda, that Joe Biden was preparing for this first early debate And 2-3 weeks off camera, nobody saw him, he's with, but you had all of his surrogates saying he's with it, he's ready to go, he's going to answer every question everybody's got. And to lay that in, I was like, oh shit. It almost got me to be, and I'm not a conspiratorial guy, but it almost got me to think, like, is the gig, is he in on it too? Because what the fuck?
So it bothered you that he was spending that much time preparing in debate, or?
It bothered me that he was preparing that much time to debate and then shit the bag.
So let's put it all into context. First of all,
how can he do that?
This is not traditional debating. I grew up on a debate team. I debated in college. This is not traditional, right? It's not even. There wasn't even a lot of policy discussion that was kept to the point of where you could say, okay, we want an answer to this question.
Talk about golf.
If you tell me that you walked away from there truly understanding the policies of both individuals, I know you were not watching the same debate that I was watching. And I mean that equally. While Biden attempted to, it was distracting. It's distracting to watch an elderly person, particularly most of us don't spend a lot of time with people his age.
Do you? But I see where you're coming. I see where you're going. Come on, I'm gonna let you finish.
So that was an issue. I do think there's something to be said about poor timing and poor planning. So this individual, a president of the United States, flew back and forth to Europe twice, just prior to this. Then he came back and it was excessive prep. Anybody who's ever debated knows there's a point where you've gone too far. And I think in this case, they went too far.
Audience know they
anybody who's in the debate world or has prepped for a debate, there's a point at which you go too far. You're trying to remember too many facts and figures and things like that. And now you become attached to the facts and figures, often in a way where you lose the things that really would touch the heart of the people, right? Marco Rubio did that. Marco Rubio did that when he was running for president and he was standing up there with Chris Christie. He had talking points so tied into his head.
Fucked his head up.
He missed everything else. And no matter what, he would go back to that talking point. And it allowed Chris Christie to get a moment where he said, look at this. This is all they do on the Hill. Is they come up with talking points, they stick to it no matter what the question is.
You don't want a robot. You don't want somebody that can be programmed. And I think,
you need to let Joe go. For Joe Biden to be at his best, and I'm not saying he's going to be at his best like he was 4 years ago, 4 years prior to that. The box, the mind is a box. It doesn't expand. Things tend to come out as you put them in as you get older. I think where my problem with the whole conversation around Biden, I'm sure we'll get to this, is we're not focusing on the right things. Again, because we have let policy go. We no longer understand policy.
I think when I see the numbers, and I don't know where the polls at today, but the ones that I see, it's still a tight race. Shouldn't be. Here's my thing.
A Marist poll today said that it 50-49 Biden.
And it really doesn't matter about the national polls because it goes by the states. We know this from the Electoral College and all this, We have a concurrence person, somebody who agrees with you, Steph. It's Glenda out in the building. What's up? She says true. Don't know what she's saying true to, but I think she's saying true to what she said. People are not paying attention to the issues. All right. So we saw Joe's performance and it was lackluster, right? And
it was a fail.
Right. Okay. So that was something that he and his political team created on his own. That wasn't nothing that the other guy did. We already know what that guy is. Nobody's getting. He's getting a vote from his core base.
No matter what.
We fighting over the middle now.
Mm-hmm. And you're not even really doing that.
What are they?
Well, everyone says, "Oh, we're fighting for independence. We need independence. My feeling is that if there are independents, and typically people who do, who identify that way, are paying attention to politics. Mm-hmm. Ironically, they are paying attention to it in a little more broad way than people who are left or right.
I have a question for you, Dan. This is something that I always wondered from 2016. how can there be an Obama Trump voter? How I don't know who the fuck are you?
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Who are you?
Well, if you are, and here's the issue. So if you're an independent and you were white and of a certain age, right, towards the end of the Obama era is when Trump really started, and not just Trump, but the Republican Party itself, really, they do a great job of positioning policy in a way that will make you look bad, right? And there were certain things that were going on financially and fiscally, or those people were convinced that Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act was a big waste of money and so on and so forth. And so I think those people already
got a foot on the other side.
That's
they were
exactly,
just looking for somebody.
They were looking for a reason to be pushed over. And let's not forget, you and I are both Generation X. How long has this country been saying we need a president who was a businessman? Been saying it forever, right? I've never agreed with that. I'm from New York City. I'll tell you, everyone has always thought of Trump as a con up there, or just, you know, just a reality show figure before he
Mark Cuban. I mean, Mark Cuban's a businessman, but he not.
But I think what we've proven is, you know, there's a science, right? You get a degree in business administration. It doesn't mean you have a degree in political science. Political science is its own art. It's its own craft. And so we do have to remember that business people make decisions based on revenue and business. They make decisions. And in this case, he really does not. I mean, if you look at Trump now, if it was all about votes, he wouldn't be saying some of the things that he's saying. And with the electoral college, you don't necessarily have to any longer pander directly to the voter. If you look now, politics has become a cult of personality. One of the reasons that Joe Biden is doing poorly with the people is because the people who typically vote Democratic don't fall into the cult of personality. They are more willing.
Tom Hanks or George Clooney or something.
They don't know anything. Why would you want them to run?
All right, so this is where I'm pivoting. So
if they're going to play the part of a president, that's one thing. But I think we need to come the Manchurian candidate. I do think that we need to come back to a space and time in which we understand. Well, what is the alternative? We'll talk about Project 2025, I'm sure. But what's the alternative if we don't?
So here's what I'm saying. Here's why when I watched the debate while I was attempting to do the live stream, when I took all the equipment down and didn't even, usually after something like that, after a political type of situation, I sit there and I watch, the spin that's taking place. I cut everything off. I said, holy Jesus. I said, what was that? And then I said, oh, we're in trouble as a country. Yeah. And then when all of this stuff started coming about, he needs to make a decision to step down from within the Democratic Party. And he went him and his team, Joe Biden and his team, or his political team, went silent for 2 or 3 days or for a week. Then he comes out and says, anything short of God, I'm staying in the race. And everybody.
Or if someone comes to me and says, I can't win, which no one's going to come to him and say.
I want to, because I want to call brother Hakeem Jeffries. I want to say, what's up, Hop? But
Brooklyn, I feel like I can.
But he's a majority. He's the minority leader, Jeffries. I will give him that respect, even though I want to say, "What's up, Hop?" But
look, if you're rapping, Biggie Smalls at parties, I get to call you Hop.
Right. So all this bubbling around him to step aside and let either Kamala get the spot or somebody else get the spot.
I don't know why there's a somebody else.
It should be Kamala.
Right. I think that's a dumb. I think the unfortunate thing is that people will not give. I think there is misogyny. I think there is misogyny. I think there is anti-blackness at play whenever we talk about Vice President Harris. I think even the fact of floating.
So you said she'll lose if she.
I don't think you can count on
folks to pull up. The French,
I don't even count on black men to vote for her on the basis of things that were said about her.
Exactly. I want to do this.
Bullshit.
Well, I mean, I'd love to say that's the case, but when you look at the attacks that have come against her for everything from having a white husband to being biracial and so on and so forth, although if you look back at those Howard pictures, she looks like your auntie in the 80s. She don't look any different than the rest of us. I mean, I think that Kamala is the right choice. Should we have to have the president step down? I don't think. I think white women proved that they would not support Hillary Clinton. So you immediately can assume that the support for Kamala won't be there. But I have a bigger problem. The bigger problem is...
Why are we even in this position?
Why are we even having the conversation at this point? The man has said he will not step down. Okay, we may not like that. But do you understand what it takes to put together a presidential campaign, make someone palatable to the American people, put them in a position of being the candidate, and then and also we would have to get to the Democratic National Convention.
That's the middle of August.
And every single one of the delegates would have to go against Biden. There's too much that would have to be done to reset at this point. All he has to do is say,
I want all of my delegates and all of the money in my campaign to go to Hive. That's what. So here's
yes, but we know he's not going to do that.
That's my question, Steph. This is what makes me think he is in on the bid. Why won't this fucker step down?
Well, I mean,
doesn't he? I'm sorry for the animation.
No.
This is the animation for the audience now. Steph is here. She's seen me get like this before.
I've seen bigger than that.
Yes, bigger than Paul. But if he knows if he ran in 2020 saying that democracy is on the line, and he's hearing these whispers that he's old and feeble, even if Big Mama think she could still go throw down in the kitchen, ain't nobody fucking what them yams, Big Mama. You undercooked them.
You're the worst. Okay. I mean, I get it. I have even said this in conversation with people who are older than me, that there is a certain point that I don't want to see my elders having to fight the world, right? And that's really what he's doing. This is a 24/7 job. However, he's also coming from a position, I would think, of I'm the only one who beat Trump.
That is ridiculous.
And I'm not saying it's not ridiculous, but I'm the only one who beat him. Is it a greater risk for me to step back and take the chance that someone else can when we know no one else has? So, I mean, the biggest thing for me right now is the man has said he's not stepping down. That's are not doing any favors for ourselves. Ask yourself.
The Democrats know whoever. If you take a generic ballot of presidential, if Joe was to step down and they do a brokered convention, right? Or I saw Carville say do some town halls or whatever with the 3 top or 4 top guys. Anybody on that list is going to pick up right where Joe is at. They're not going to lose. They're not going to lose, folks. The anti that guy vote is already baked in.
I think it is too close to say that. Yeah, I do. And trust me, I'm someone who sits back, and the debate was hard to watch. I wanted to turn it off. I did at one point, and then I came back.
That was hard.
It was difficult. It was difficult.
How did you feel when you turned it off and you came back and was like, oh, shit.
I was like, it's not getting any better. But I knew the minute that the mic came on and he first spoke, his voice sounded feeble. That it was an entirely wrong presentation. It's not personal at all.
The whole
However, I still think it is a major risk if you bring someone in like a Gavin Newsom, which is who they keep floating, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer. I think it's a big risk. Gavin Newsom has to be vetted. And once he's vetted by the national population, he may not be able to be it.
I talked about this in the stream. Just make it a reality show, because that's what the other guy's doing. So you get a Hollywood script, because he's going to play the script, because he knows how to play that. He knows how to play his audience.
That's his role.
Yeah, he knows how to play that role to get his audience to do at his beck and call what he wants to do. Get somebody on the other side that does the same.
It will never work.
Why?
It will never work. Look at our behaviors now. We are now focused on what Biden talks like, walks like, so on and so forth. Hold on. But we will not, the same people who are talking about that are absolutely not talking about 34 felony convictions, sexual assault.
You know what?
It is never going to work. You're never going to be able to get the Democrats to fall in line that easily because they want to seem like they're above board.
That's the effing problem.
And that's the problem.
Look, you got to what you see, B?
The stand shake.
Oh yeah, if you pull on it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Brent's off camera letting me know that a ghost is in here. So, I lost my point. If
the Democrats are not going to fall in line, they're not going to easily look at them now. There is no. But let's look at this. The Republicans who are supporting him. The other guy.
They make me drink. The Republicans and the Democrats.
They know for a fact that this guy is insane. What they need from him is that figurehead, that person that's going to hold the place for the next more, quote unquote, reasonable Republican to come along and still promote Project 2025. They're doing this as a long haul thing. They don't care if it's Trump or someone else. But right now, Trump is winning, cult of personality. He's got the committed followers that are not going to easily shift over. The problem then becomes there are no Democrats that are like that. There are very few and far between Democrats that are like, no matter what.
All right, so let me ask you this. Short of Obama, and we know he can't run again.
No.
Who do you think on July the 12th could be put at the top of the ticket or the top of the ballot in November and beat that guy?
I don't think,
including Biden.
I think it'd be ridiculous to say Biden can't because he has. So if I had to bet, wouldn't you bet on a horse that's won before? Wouldn't you bet on the horse that went from the Preakness or from, the Kentucky Derby and now they're in New York and they're getting ready to run? You're going to bet on the horse, right? What do they say? Always bet black. I'm not a big gambler.
I know and bet black.
But, if I'm really looking at it, the best chance to beat him right now, if we focused on the right things, would be Biden because he's already done it.
You're talking, you're a good debater, pause. But, and shout out to her. Say she want me to be president.
Oh Lord, please! You must just.
I set it off up in that joint.
But look, and it's not
galore.
It's not that I'm, Biden. I'm just at a point of where I'm like, there's not a lot that can be done between now and November.
I think most of the folks that are from that train of thought are saying, well, what else? And I think this is where there's an opportunity. Democrats are possibly leaving out. To use the French election for an example, the French left all from socialist, communist, and Green Party. All said, you know what? If we come together like Voltron,
let's put our power together,
and then we could beat, the powers that be. And that's all three far left wings. I'm not saying that the French is America, but if we could get right now, the Democrats are so fractured because Joe created the issue. If this is not 2016, this is not 2020 where you can run a whole campaign from your porch. You got to get out here every day. Oh, now you're getting out here every day.
Well, I think that's a misconception, though. I think part of the problem is he has been running and going over and over and over. He's been out there a lot. And I do think there is a point at which, an octogenarian needs to maybe think you can't be out there until 9, 10 o'clock at night. I don't disagree that it's selfish. I think it's
very selfish.
But we all have voted for men who have bigger egos than they do concern for the country our entire lives. Do you know how egomaniacal you have to be to believe that you can run this country for every single person? That's just a part of politics in general.
Well, I want to believe, because I don't know this to be true. I want to believe Obama has a sense of humility. I want to believe Jimmy Carter,
I loved Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, who was a first-term Democratic president. Granted, times were different, but when he lost, he took his what is the saying? He packed his bags and went home. H.W. Bush, when he lost in 92 to Clinton, he packed his bags and he went home. I don't know why you can't, with all of that power. I mean, power corrupts.
Absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
But just, you did a great job, sir. You got us through a pandemic. Prices are out the roof because they were giving out. How many checks you get from Trump?
Well, no, what were there, 2 or 3 stimulus?
It was 4 or 3. And I told all of them.
And they did not all come from Trump.
Who they came from?
Biden did the last.
Biden did the last one. All right. I told folks, because I work at a major financial institution and I know economics, ain't no money. I'm sorry for the grammar. No money is free, ladies and gentlemen.
No money's free. And I think that's one of the things, like when you see irresponsible, low information, maybe voters like Sexy Red or people like that talking about it, the first thing that they mention is
up in the comments. He's sitting over there.
Yeah. I mean, they mention a stimmy, and it's like, are we, Black people, going to be bought for $1,500? And is it that easy when you go to what's happening with Project 2025 and what these people have on the agenda? You really are going to tell me that the stimulus was enough for you to sacrifice things that will occur that impact the legacy of your children's education in the future, justice in this country, race relations, all of those things? You really think that here's the thing. At this point in time, and I don't ever believe in the lesser of two evils, but at this point in time, you do have a candidate that has proven he's not batshit crazy.
Okay.
So why are we spending all of our time talking about the one that occasionally stutters and occasionally has a gaffe? Okay, Biden has never been
that guy,
the most articulate.
Biden has my vote. My thing, Biden has my vote. My thing is, and this is my point I want to get across to the audience, is if it's this close and when he's out in public and the folks who are on the fence, that's who I think they are worried about. They're not worried about
us. No.
Yeah.
But again, I would say to those independents, if you are still waffling, you're not really looking at facts. You're not really looking at policy. You're not really looking at character. You know, it's so interesting to me because everyone likes to say, "Oh, I'm a Reagan Republican." Well, I mean, Reagan was in mental decline and at the end of his term and everything else. And I'm not saying that it's a justification for Joe Biden, but it's amazing to me. Again, so by trade, I'm a certified master coach and a sales entrepreneur. So I teach people how to sell things, how to position things, how to debate better, how to have better conversations.
Because you're working on me.
and I will say this. When you go back and you look at the sales pitch from Trump and then you look at the sales pitch from Biden,
very easy.
It's a very easy, non-binary decision. There really shouldn't be a reason that we're having as much conversation. We shouldn't be comparing these two individuals. And by the way, when one was a freshman, the other was a senior. These are two old white men. You all have been voting for old white men prior to Obama. Clinton was an old man to me. He might not have.
He was on Arsenio, though.
And you know what?
I was a low information voter back then.
There you go. And
he was on Arsenio.
And if you don't think that the majority of voters now are very much low information, and low information means they're voting on the baseline. They're looking at, okay, yes, it's kitchen table values. I see you crunching on air. It's kitchen table values, but they're not really looking at how Trump has truly impacted your kitchen table. The issues that you're having with your taxes right now, that was because Trump gave us, the regular people, a very short-term tax break. He gave entrepreneurs, millionaires, people who have $1 billion, tax cuts that would last the entirety of Biden's presidency. So we're having conversations about things, to me, that just don't make sense because we don't really understand policy well enough. And at the end of the day, the people who are, and this is important, the people who are making these laws, working to lobby for these laws, pass these laws, these are the people you need to be voting for on a local and state level. It won't even make it to the president.
Let me get Brent's comment in here, Steph. He says, with Trump running, I'm assuming he's speaking about yours truly, is saying you call Biden selfish. I say this, Brent, to you, and you can, when the second half of the show, you'll be here. The reason why I say this is under the circumstances of that debate, the performance. Debates, you know what, when I think about it, I forget debates. I remember Perot, when Perot was three people on us, Perot, Dole, and
remember Quail?
Quail and all those cats, right? And I voted for Perot off of a debate because he was like, "I'm fuck these student loans, or you ain't gonna have no the debt." He was talking deficit spending and all that. But I was again a low information voter. My point is that I think, folks, that this is a very, very tight election. It's probably come down to a couple of thousand of votes in a couple of swing states. And like you said, Steph, some folks are already, there's nothing that you can say to them.
Yeah. I stopped talking to Trump voters a year after he was elected. I mean, he showed who he was. And they have proven that cult of personality wins, and that's fine. But there's no reason for me to try to convince them.
You could put Mickey Mouse. You can shout out to Mickey.
Exactly.
You can put Mickey Mouse on the top of the ticket with a D beside it. And I'm going to go. Check.
Talking about
in the circle.
Not a game. Not a game.
I mean,
not a game.
Let's really, okay, so there are always political points that are struck in debates. It absolutely works. For instance, when Quail was running,
you're no John Kennedy.
You're no John Kennedy.
Right.
You know, there are always going to be those little zingers and things like that. But at the end of the day, what you have with Joe Biden is production. And the people around him are going to make sure we continue to produce. If I have to trust the people around Joe versus the people around Trump,
of course.
So then what are we talking about?
So, yeah, hold on.
Talking about practice.
No, stuff. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. The people, his advisors, or his, what do you call that? His cabinet, his entourage, his
entourage. It's his cabinet,
his advisors, his advisors, his spokesperson, his family. Ever since 2021, when he was inaugurated, and him himself have been saying, "I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm with it." You know, what's his favorite saying? Let's give him hell, Joe, or compare me to don't compare me to somebody else. Compare me like he was. But then you see this, and it erodes the confidence in him and the people in him, because the people around him are not the president. The people that are around him propped him up. I believe this is now. I'm saying this with my own two eyes, because what they told me for the last 3, and I don't want to put this information or content on my podcast to bring him down or to have somebody else win. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is they need to recognize that those 4 or 5 states and those thousands of people that y'all thinking that's going to help y'all get y'all over the hump, y'all telling us y'all done lied to us.
Well,
I mean, it's different. All politicians lie.
I have 2 interesting points to make about that. One, when you look at immediately after the debate, Wisconsin, which is a major swing state, those people they did not budge. He actually got points in a couple of places. That is not what those people are focused on. Now, here's another thing. So what's the presidential sell? The sell is if you do well for 4 years, we give you another 4. That's no matter who's run, right? So say I'm going for a job or a position and they tell me you have a 4-year contract, and if you do well,
we'll hire you.
We'll hire you again.
Contract.
What in me didn't buy that sales pitch and is now going to say, I did well, but I have to step down? The nature of humanity and the nature of politics is you do well. And now you're talking to someone, he's been a politician since
you should be. I don't know I was poli-sci and I changed the history. So, because I couldn't do what you're doing. Because my client didn't understand. Motherfucker, you got to go out there and do something. You got to go out there and kick some.
And I'm not,
I get fired.
I absolutely agree with you that he has a responsibility to change the taste in people's mouths.
Yeah.
He needs to raise the temperature. But there are certain things he's not going to do. He's not going to be able to appear youthful. He's not going to appear to be young. He is not any of those things. So you then have to go back to policy for policy. What type of America do we want to live in? And what kind of administration do we want to live under? Do we want an administration that continues to propel people like the ones who are on our Supreme Court right now?
Oh, girl.
Do we need 3 more Clarence Thomas or Samuel Alito? Do we need that? So there becomes a bigger picture conversation. The bigger picture conversation to me is policy and how that's going to impact us long term. I have spent time going through Project 2025, and it's absolutely terrifying.
Terrifying.
It's
More terrifying than you cutting off the debate and cutting it back on?
Way more terrifying. Way more terrifying.
It is.
Because what I do know is that I can trust the character of the president we currently have versus the character of the one before.
So what they're doing, what the campaign, what Biden campaign is doing, is pivoting off of that because they're saying, please, people like me on Taking No Shorts, please stop talking about that. And let's talk about Project 2025, what they're going to do, because that's what's going to affect the country more than me being old and, being an old guy. And it's obvious. The reason why it's not that I don't pay attention to that stuff, is I already knew what time they was on.
Oh, yeah.
I already knew that when I said that I saw January 6th, I said, oh, Lord.
They're not playing.
Y'all see the meme where they had the ape from the Planet of the Apes said, "Oh no, oh no." That's how I was saying, Jay. And to the right, yes, I might come off like one of those liberals that you want to own the libs. You can't own me because I can feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling. I think
they feel all the time.
Yeah, they feel all the time. They just feel on the low.
No. They feel outwardly, but they're very good at hypocritical politics, and Democrats are not. Again, I'm always going to go back to the people who win are the people who understand playing the game, and Republicans are well aware of the game that they're playing. Well aware of it.
I know, and I just want to.
We want to be high road. They don't.
Yeah, if they don't care. I got you for a little bit more time, Steph, and I can tell you that you haven't talked me all the way off the ledge, but you've brought me down.
Okay.
And that's in a good way, ladies and gentlemen, not down a bad way, because before I was sitting there calling the White House hotline saying, "Get this motherfucker."
Listen, I would take this is what I'll say about the upcoming election. I would take the chance of putting Biden up against Trump and having to have him step down a year or two from now, then I would putting a new individual in that has to be vetted by the eyes of the American voter, who has less of a record, who hasn't been able to prove it. I think we would lose a lot of independence in that way.
I was thinking about, I was going to ask you, so who do you got? I think you don't have to ask that. I think I got that point. Thank you. Oh, my God. That was some good stuff there, Steph.
Thank you.
You come through. Let me let's get into some other stuff before you got to go, because you have a Morkie.
I do.
She got a Morkie, baby.
A Maltese Yorkie.
Yeah, and I saw a picture of her, right?
Yes.
What's her name?
Lolita.
Yeah, she's adorable. I would always rush back for her at any given time.
Yes. She's exactly the kind of dog a girl with a bow would have.
This new content you got coming out, this podcast is 30. What's the name of it?
It's 6580.
I got to get that number. Where the 65? Oh, 6580 is the date, the birth year of Gen X.
That's exactly right.
So wonderful. How did you all come up with that?
I just thought it was something memorable, and something that really just speaks to exactly what the podcast is about.
Yeah, I want to come. I hope I can pause. Can I say that? I want to come.
Yes,
I want to be a guest on there. And speaking of which, since we're Black Gen X's, how this Gen X thing working out for you?
Listen, I think I'm part of one of the greatest generations ever.
The greatest generation gonna have a problem.
Well,
we didn't go to war and save a whole.
Yeah, I don't need to go to war to prove this. Yeah, they kept us in war. I came out of war you know, two Gulf Wars,
yeah, that's
you know, two Gulf Wars, and we're well adjusted. You know what I like about being Gen X is the level of self-sufficiency.
yeah.
The level of independence, you know, and the reason that
fell off bikes.
my partner and we fell off. But listen, I grew up in New York playgrounds with metal and concrete.
You know our kids and our nieces and nephews, when they hear us say we fell off bikes and stuff, they say, "Oh, y'all,
yeah."
And I'm here to say,
when you say you drank out of the hose,
Andrea, I'm here to tell you so. I don't care.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I don't care. Hopefully, you'll get there one day.
Yeah. And I think for us, we wanted to do the podcast because I've been seeing all of these younger generations all of a sudden coming out of the woodwork saying that they've let Gen X off the hook. And I'm like, off the hook for what?
For what?
You didn't let me off the hook for anything.
Yeah. Once you put that question out there on your platform, please let me answer that one.
Yeah, you haven't let us off the hook. And the assumption is because we're also one of the smallest surviving generations, and which means we're survivors by nature. But if just because you don't hear us screaming and we're not crazy and ranting and marching, does not mean that Gen X doesn't care.
No.
We just are selective about the things that we speak up on because look at what you get dragged into. Look at what you get dragged into.
This election.
Honestly, I really feel like, sure, let's go ahead. If we remove Biden, I want to remove everybody over the age of 70. 70 forward has to come out because they're doing now, you can recall this, right? Being Generation X, a lot of Generation X got stuck in like middle management, middle jobs because the older people did not want to retire. They didn't want to let you in. So I went into corporate America very early. I was 19 years old, my first corporate job. And I can remember the people who would now be late baby boomers or older being very resistant to me being in the workplace, not being very helpful, not being encouraging.
You're going to take the number one spot.
Those types of things, right? So Gen X has gotten used to having to find our way without the assistance of the people before us. And now we're raising the people after us. And the generations ahead of us have really left them in a spot where we are almost still having to support them. So you have Gen Xers who are taking care of their elders and they still have young children.
I had an auntie, my auntie, a boomer, say, when you do your podcast, don't y'all talk about these boomers that bad. We ain't that bad. And I agree. I've tempered myself on boomers only because I've seen, I was fortunate enough that some of the boomers that are still around was able to say, yeah, we fucked it up. We fucked it up. They acknowledged it.
Some are honest about it.
Yeah, acknowledgement, it goes a long way to the young folks because then they can say, you acknowledge and move out the way.
So they were the primary voters when we inherited trickle-down economics and all of these other things. And they benefited because it didn't hit them. You know, it takes 20, sometimes 30 years for policies to really, outside of like overturning something like Dobbs or Roe v. Wade, if to say it more plainly, policies over time, they exact themselves to the next generation. And that's another reason to not be so soft on who you're going to vote for. Because fact of the matter, if you look at Project 2025, they want to take they want to get rid of the Department of Education, steer funds into charter and private schools. Who is that going to impact most? Most children go to public school.
I saw the charter school in the hood. I said, shit, get me back to the public school. I said, no charter school.
I think it's even more important to know for those of us who are going to be voting, when money is steered from the public education into charter schools, it immediately cuts out the people who don't have access to those schools, right? Those schools are for choice, but they select the children who can come. So once you start to divert that money, that means your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, all the children will be impacted who go through public schooling, right? Yeah. Then not only are they going to be impacted there, they're going to be impacted because the same people who are pushing, like Betsy DeVos and all those behind the scenes.
I forgot about that old
She's still around, don't forget. Pushing for charter schools. They are also the people who sit at the top of major corporations. They sit on the boards of education. Do you think that they're going to want to show numbers that say kids who come out of public schools are able to get into college and corporate environments as easily? No.
The hate is real.
That's where you're going to see trickle-down policies that impact your children and great-grandchildren and children beyond that for years.
I would love to interview just a white friend and I'm sure I got a white friend that's a Trump supporter. They were like, where is all this coming from? I don't know. Have y'all talked to y'all?
Do you think you'll get an honest answer?
Yeah, because we done smoked a bomb. No, that we smoked together, but
you're not going to get an honest
answer because we are 2024 is no different than 1864.
Well, let's think about it too.
A little different.
To give an honest answer, you would almost have to be antithetical to everything that Trump has done and said.
Yeah,
right?
You got to admit.
You would have to be able to admit to some things that you are not going to want to admit to in an environment.
And he gives you ability to be like, you know what? We still white.
Yes. A white content creator said it best. He said, sure, go ahead and vote for Trump.
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay.
All right, I'm still white. They ain't going to be.
He said, I'm still white. I'm still straight. I'm still male.
Yep.
And the fact that we, Black people, have gotten into we shouldn't even be drugged into the conversation about the lesser of two evils and so on and so forth. You know exactly who Trump is. Yeah. And
I don't even know how
the
they
evil that's coming
20%, 20%.
It's not true.
I don't think it's 20%.
It's not true. It is not true. I think the conversation, though, will be in some time the percentage of Black men who have moved over into that camp. And we do need to have conversations about that.
I need a 6580 t-shirt made.
It's coming.
And so I can wear that joint. Let everybody know where they can find that thing.
They can find me at The Can Do Coach on Instagram. And there we will be pushing RVA The Talk, which is a new public radio station that'll be coming here. We may get people like Grizzy to bring his show on over to us.
I hope I'm
and we'll be pushing 6580 The Pod. You will see advertisements for that. And you can look for me on Facebook at Steph B.
Steph, it was delightful.
Thank you.
I swear for Jesus, it was to get you to talk me off of the ledge. I always need folks to talk.
And listen, hit me up, DM me if you have questions, if you want education. I'm not going to send you to MSNBC, CNN, Fox. I'll send you to places where they're having real discourse, like real people like you and I who are all concerned. And we do have a reasonable right to be concerned.
I need to see lines like in 2008 and 2012.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I ain't see those lines in 2016 and 2020.
Vote for him now. In a year or two, if he needs to come out, we can do that. Yeah, but right now is not the time to be talking about Trump as an option. He's just not.
Just never an option. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. Make sure y'all follow the homegirl at her ass, like she just said. When we come back here, Taking No Shorts podcast, I think I got a bad decision. Or bad choice, right? It's called Bad Choices with Brent. And or we got Hot Takes with Brent. And he's been sitting over there nice and polite, even though by the way, last week you told me the sound won't working. I'm going to fix you tonight. Yeah, I'm going to fix you. You're a whole fucker. A whole fucker. 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back here, I'm going to go switch over on the IG to at Taking No Shorts Pod. That's TAKINNOSHORTSPOD. I wish I could shorten it, but it just feels and sounds so good coming off my tongue. The Jay Grizzle will shut down pause. Is that tongue pause? No more pausing for today. Is June over with? I don't know. Is it on?
It's on.
It's on. Uh-huh. Somebody told me, stop saying pause. I said, well, when can I? I mean, it's a joke. All right, never mind. Also, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, we'll be pausing. We'll come back. You'll just see the logo. We're going to get some music. We're going to let Steph get back to her Maltese Yorkie, which is called a Morkie. I got it right.
Yes.
I ain't even smoked yet. When I come back, I'll be high as a kite, y'all. Peace.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling and dealing. Limousine right.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
I'm gonna pull me something.
We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk. We all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, gift stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
Yeah, I'll give myself a round of applause. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Taking No Shorts podcast, part 2, part 2, as the French would say. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. Jesus, homophonism podcast. Also, youtube.com/ at Taking No Shorts pod is where I stream. Also, facebook.com / Taking No Shorts pod is where I stream. And also on Twitch TV, Taking No Shorts pod. Around this time, usually we start between 8:45 and 9 p.m. CPT time, and then we go until, let's say, 11-ish or so. All clips and stuff can be followed on TikTok, IG. Right now, you're on the Taking No Shorts pod, IG. So if you're down with us, if you were feeling the first part of the shout out to my guest, Steph B, a.k.a. Brooklyn Betty. She's got her own podcast now coming out called 6580. It's Black GenX podcast. Also, she is formerly from not Taking No Shorts, but Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J on Legacy Internet Radio, and a good sister. She talked me off the ledge. I'm gonna rock with Joe until Joe say he out.
Catch her on that 86.
Don't mess it up. She gave me another one.
The 8590 podcast.
I said 6580. It's 6580.
65.
Yeah, 6580. Mm-hmm. All right, let's introduce this guy you're hearing right now. He is 1/4 of the original Four Horsemen.
Exactly.
He is the world television champion.
Exactly.
And he is my college roommate.
Exactly.
But you don't need to know his name. It's on his hat. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett.
What up, everybody?
Yeah. He was gone last week. He wanted to talk to shits last week. He just being argumentative. What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm all right. How's your week been?
We've been pretty good. It was a long work week. I got 4 days off. Got to take my baby girl shopping tomorrow.
School, college, or just college? Okay. You want to put the university? You want to put the institution out there?
Was it Richard Bland?
Okay. All right. Shout out to your baby girl. Hold on, let's give her up.
Exactly.
And exactly for that. Anytime a young person is pursuing higher thoughts, then that's a good thing. Shout out to your 10 man. I see you. Come on back through. I'll put that bat signal out and you be right there, my dude. Hey, man, Steph B was here. What you think about this election coming up?
It's going to be close.
Yeah, but
shouldn't be close.
It shouldn't be. This guy's a criminal.
Yeah.
And do you at least, let me ask you this. Do you at least understand the angst in the population? If it's coming from me, and I know I'm just Jay Grizzy, it's just little old me, who am I, right? But do you understand, because I think folks don't understand, the powers that be don't understand the angst that's out here on both sides. So
it's mostly on one side.
So his side is cool, they already know.
His side, we could put up Jesus and the Virgin Mary on a Democrat ticket and they would not vote for them.
Yeah,
and they call themselves Christian.
So we got our pandas in a bunch, the left or the Democrats, and we need to relax and just go do our job.
Mm-hmm.
Just go into the booth.
It's a bigger picture than just Joe.
Of course. So just go in the booth. Mm-hmm. Whoever's there, just don't vote for that guy.
Yeah, that guy
is dangerous.
The Heritage Foundation behind them with their project. 2025 project.
That guy's just dangerous. Mm-hmm. So if you had to choose between a killer whale and a seal, what do they call those baby seals? They got the big hoofs. They could eat your ass too.
Oh yeah.
But if you had, in essence, I'm using a metaphor. the lesser of two evils or whatever. But just don't vote for that guy.
Yeah,
that should be the slogan 2024. Just don't vote for that guy.
Yeah.
If you got to ask who that guy is, you got issues. You got issues. Other than that, you ready for the football season?
I'm kind of ready.
I put it. You see, I got the draft up there.
Yeah.
I did a draft lottery the other day. I think I'm picking fourth this year. I will put it out there. This league, Carlton Banks is in this league, and a bunch of other cats. Bondi. Bondi.
Yeah.
And
like your son's up there.
Yeah, he up there. But we've been doing this league for 25 years. Carlton Banks all of a sudden to start talking about he want to change the rules after 25 years so it could benefit him. You understand like some shit he would do.
Oh yeah.
And then thought he could get away with it. Thought he could get. And then it says, "Why you still could talk?" Dude, I'm talking about it because it's the audacity. I'm the type of person, ladies and gentlemen, that it's not what you did. It's you had the gumption to think you could do it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna call that out every day, 8 days a week, and including another extra leap year. I'm gonna call it out. So, what you got? Anything you want to talk about tonight, B, on this second half, or we just gonna jump into bad choices?
Oh shoot! I didn't take any notes. And stuff.
Oh, of course you didn't, Brett. So let's just jump into bad choices tonight. All right, let's grab one.
Well, I had ideas.
What's your idea?
But I forgot them because I didn't take notes. I didn't write them down.
Okay, well, that's why we're going into bad choices tonight. So this is bad choices. This is a game me and Brett play here at Taking No Shorts Pod. We're going to run out of topics and content. Yeah. And we're going to give this just so we can clip it out and I can get back into my cool house. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. What you want to go with? The first one, the way you said that was good.
Oh, well,
yeah. What you
said? I was saying, oh yeah to you. So you can
have you ever made a New Year's resolution that lasted less than a week?
99% of them.
Hell yeah! I don't even know why niggas make them shits. Mm-hmm. Who came up with a liar had to come up with New Year's resolutions? Because
maybe someone with good intentions,
but just because New Year's is when the Earth completes a whole. I'm sorry, did I spit? The Earth completes a whole revolution around the sun. Mm-hmm. And then because of that, we're supposed to turn a new leaf. Yeah. Fuck out of here.
A bullshit? A bullshit?
Yeah.
A bullshit.
Nah. And I also know New Year's Eve, for at least for Black folk, was from slavery. That's when, if your family was intact, I think each year, when the first of the year came, because of slavery, your contract of selling off your kids or your family member or whatever, if you had, that's why you bake black eyed peas and celebrate it and everything. But I ain't doing no, it's hot, honey. It's hot up here. What's up, boo? You coming through? Here's the question. Have you ever made a New Year's resolution that lasted less than a week? If you're just joining us, you missed the topic, the content of this Miss Steph B. We were talking about the 2024 election. I was on the line of Joe Gotta Go, and she is a master debater. And she talked me off the ledge and said, "Look, stick with Joe until he says he ain't." And I'm like, okay, but I was going to do that either way. I was going to stick with whoever. I'm just saying, let's just go with who can win. And I think the argument they're saying is we don't know who can win. No, you don't know unless you put somebody up there. Mm-hmm. You gotta do like, remember when Obama was running in 2008 and it was like he not black enough? Mm-hmm. And I was like, how y'all? I mean, you can't say that to that man. Mm-hmm. You don't know that man's experience. Let him get his bio out. Mm-hmm. He's new to the country. And he did it. I mean, granted, he did it at a convention, and then 4 years later he ran. But anyway, what's your bad choice, B?
Has your friendliness ever been misinterpreted as flirting?
Of course. Mm-hmm. I'm a good flirt.
No, see, that's because you actually flirt, but just being friendly with somebody got you in trouble. somebody you wasn't even.
Oh yeah, I can tell you.
And try to mess with.
Yeah. I have a tendency when I used to go out. I'm not used to, but when I'm out at the dinner with my wife and the waitress come out, just because I'm a Southern guy, I used to say sweetie, honey, little words like that. And my wife is like, fuck you doing? Call her sweetie? I said, sweet, can I get some, honey, can I get some, can I get some extra sweet tea? And she like, fuck you doing? So I had me personally, I had no intent behind it. But she took it, the person that I wasn't even talking to took it as far. What's yours on that?
Well, a lot of times, because I had no game, so my just being friendly was different. So I was just being friendly and respectful to people, to a lot of women, and they really liked that, and they thought I was trying to holler at them on the slot.
So, but it got you to home run, pass third base. I mean, it sounds old when I say home run and pass third base, but it got you where you wanted.
Once I figured out that it could work, yeah. For a while, especially my freshman year, and they was like, "Why are you flirting with that girl?" I'm like, I was just
having a regular human being conversation.
She like you. I'm like, did that work?
Would you say you didn't know?
I did not know.
Oh, you don't know? You
better ask somebody.
Let me grab one here. Bad choice. Have you ever called the cops on your neighbors? Nah, because our neighbor, I would police it. I came close, but I don't live in a bad neighborhood. And if I did, I would probably handle it before I call the cops. Like, I would. It's not from like a no snitching, but I would try to resolve it before I got law enforcement involved. Knock on the door. Hey, yo, my dude, cut that shit down. I've had major situations happen on property where I've had to say, yo, this happened on my property. It just can't happen no more. You have a conversation, an adult, respectful conversation. And now, once you do that, if they go there, and trust me, that thing, when I knocked on the door, that thing wasn't too far behind. But, it's up to them now once you've done it properly, before taking it to the police. I ain't taking it to the police on some neighbor shit because I got to live with this mom, depending on let somebody move myself. So, what about you?
Oh, yeah, I call them.
My dad do that all the time now. They're making noise upstairs. I'm like,
Well, no, my neighbors, when I was out in Treehouse,
oh my God,
there was a neighbor, and he was smoking that stuff, trying to sell that stuff, and had people
in and out of that stuff.
In and out all the time, knocking on my door.
You mean this stuff, Brett? No, I'm joking.
No, not that stuff.
Oh, he some hard.
That stuff.
Yeah, he had some hard. Oh, God.
That powder and those rocks and all that other kind of
injectables. And you were the neighborhood watch man?
No, I'm like, this is my next door neighbor. Got all this stuff going on. And he want to see me all the time and holler like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, no.
Let that man get his money, man.
No, he want to be friendly with me, and when they come get him, I want to make sure my phone number's in there. Like, look, I call. I'm trying to get rid of him, man. It won't me. I won't witness.
So you the snitched on the plug.
Go get a plug down the street.
I mean, you're doing a good service to your community.
Yeah.
You didn't say to yourself, this man need to make $1.
Yeah, no, because there's people coming out breaking into cars and my car popped.
Yeah, a crackhead would do some shit like that. But I can't believe I'm doing that on my own show. But I've learned that if you bust a crackhead upside the head one good time, they ain't gonna fuck with you no more. If you let them know, not here. Go on, look, when they come to try to sell you some shit, go on from around here with that bullshit.
Exactly.
Fuck around from here with that bullshit. I ain't got time for it. You gotta let people know sometimes. Off top. All right, B. Have you had more than 5 one-night stands? 5, more than 5. That means 6. Have you had at least 6? You don't throw them back to me. You just answer and keep going. But you see how I do that, nigga? Yes, sir. Have you ever had more than 5? So, I mean, honestly, in the question, more than 5 is, it could be 5 1/4, or 5 1/3, or 5 1/2.
A midget?
Perhaps.
Exactly.
Or, Lewinsky. Or, one night stand Lewinsky. Is that really a one night stand?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Mm.
You would count a Lewinsky. You would count a hawk tour as a one night stand?
Yes.
No.
It's sexual activity.
No, that shit don't count. I'd like to get them in the comments for that thing.
If you don't want your girl doing it, it counts.
Well, I don't give a fuck if she my girl. I mean, I would hope she. You mean in the confines of a relationship? It's not a one night stand because I'm in a relationship. If I'm in a relationship, I'm with you all. I'm with you every day. So ain't no more one night stands. I'm knocking that joint every day.
Okay.
But a one night stand and you hawk to it, hey, that shit don't count.
Oh, it counts. I've had
more than 5. I pulled the question.
I'm going to just safely say yes. Easily more than 5.
I'm trying to think. How many times do I put my shit on the crap table? And does it more than 5? 1. That one hurt. Oof. Razor blades. Not counting hot tours. I got mad hot tour. Man, shout out to that chick. She out there. I think she should copyright. I don't know if she has or not, but 5, it's close. I was Sahara for a minute. So, but 5, I would say, I might say it's close to 5. Now you get the bigger number. The second night stand. Second night stand. Oh, you go, B.
I had 5 in Rhodes Hall at least.
One night joints?
Yeah.
No, I was never that fortunate. Never that fortunate.
I don't call it fortune. I just call it dumb luck. I don't know how. They just fell into my lap, literally. It was just like, oh.
Looky.
Yeah.
That was just it. All right, what you got? Next bad choice, B.
As an adult, have you ever physically pissed your pants?
Yes, shit on them too. Good story. So I tried some chicken salad. Here's a lesson, ladies and gentlemen. When you work with people, and it's not even potluck, but you don't know people that you work in an office with. You don't know how they throw down in the kitchen. So for the most part, I'm guilty as charged. I did not observe the rule of not eating coworkers' meals. Now potlucks are different. When the potluck come around, I could see, and I know I always ask who made that, who made this, who made that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, just those one-offs. This was one-off, and it was chicken salad. And I should have known something because the celery joints was like this. So y'all already know who you kind of can guess who would make chicken salad with celery joints cut like this, right?
Exactly.
And they offered it to me, and I didn't want to be rude and be like, nah, bitch, I want that shit. I was like, nah, that's my bad. That's my bad. I wasn't taking no shorts with that. That's my bad. So I said, let me go ahead and try that with some crackers. No pun intended. So, but I had that for lunch, 12-ish, 1-ish o'clock. By 3 o'clock, you know that emoji where your face turned green? Mm-hmm. I felt my face turning sour green. And then my whole body felt that. And then I started breaking out in sweats. And then I said, all right, it's time to go home. So by the time for me to go home from the office, I am walking so gingerly to my car because any step would cause a major disaster, a major shitting disaster. So I'm saying to myself, oh God, what in the blue hell what is going on? I'm thinking, I'm sick because I'm thinking I got the flu. This is pre-COVID. So I'm thinking I got a flu bug or something. Then I thought about it in the car on the commute home and said, you know what? It was that goddamn, that goddamn. And when I said it, I can't say it on air because I'm motherfucking, I know I shouldn't have.
Exactly.
So now I'm downstairs. I'm in my office in my house, and I'm just waiting for this to pass over because I'm thinking it's going to pass over. And I all of a sudden felt this urgent need to go to the bathroom. Never felt like this a day in my life. Never, ever. It felt like vomit, but from not that way, but from the other way. And I got up to take a step to go, because I'm literally like 10 paces from my restroom down in my office, right? And as soon as I got up,
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
I said, all I could do was yell to my wife, hey, I need some help. Now, you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a very vulnerable state at this point. I'm in a very embarrassed, vulnerable, messy, all of the things you can think of when something like that happens to a man. I was feeling all of that, right? And what does my better half do? She looked at the top of the steps and she said, you called me? I said, yeah, I need some help. She said, what happened? I said, I had an accident. She said, what the fuck kind of accident? And she was like dragging it out. like, tell me that you shitted on yourself. Just tell me. I said, I shitted on myself. She said, then what you want me to do? I need you to bring me something so I can clean myself up. If I'm lying, honey, you can get in these comments and tell me that I'm lying, but I don't think I am. And she said, I'm not coming down there. I said, she, at the top of the steps, she had some towels at the top of the steps and I'm acting it out, threw them to me like that. Like, go clean yourself. And I had to do the shit walk. Everybody knows the shit walk. Oh, yeah. I had to do the shit walk to my bathroom and clean myself up. The question was,
so have you ever soiled yourself?
Have you ever what?
Pretty much, have you ever soiled yourself?
Yeah, that's how I soiled myself.
Oh, pissed your pants.
Yeah, I'm pissed your pants. No incontinence. I've always gotten to the bathroom in time to do a number one. And that was the one and only time that I ever had an accident. Number two, your story.
For me, the funniest time I can remember, I think it happened twice to me though. I was in high school, playing on the baseball team. We was out in practice. I was in the right field. Other guys in center. And the guy hits a ball perfectly to center right between both of us. And we're both looking up. I waved to catch it, and he did it at the same time. Both of us waved to catch the ball. We were watching the ball. We're not seeing
Right. You were gauging it.
Yeah, and we came, and then I could hear him, and I turned, and it scared me to death, and we collided.
Oh, you shit on yourself?
Oh, no. I pissed on myself. So I grabbed it in my shoulders. I'm running over to the edge of the field, holding on to it.
Holding on to what? Your dick?
My junk, yeah.
You could let it ride, bro.
I'm not gonna sit here and pee on. Like, a little bit came out, so I grabbed it, and I'm just going I'm gonna hold it until I get to the edge of the field here.
Shit.
And I'm sitting there. Now I look over, white dude just sitting there.
In the middle of the game?
No, it was practice.
Oh,
we're both sitting over there peeing on the side of the field.
Yeah, I
got both of us.
I had to piss right on my teammate. Nigga, I called the ball.
Scared to piss out of both of us.
Exactly. Good shit.
And speaking of that, there was one time I was standing out there in the West End, and I had been backed up and I'd been feeling good, so I took a laxative.
So that'll do it.
And I was laying in the bed, and I said, "Oh, That gas.
And took that shot.
I thought it was gas, and it was not gas.
Yeah, I've had those close calls.
Ooh.
I've actually dumped underwear.
Oh yeah, I had to throw those underwear.
Throw those underwear away. Ain't no washing that. Put that shit, double bag it up, and just dump it. Dump it. Create your own question card. Not doing that. Have you ever fantasized about someone in this room? What the? I done found the pause game now. Hell no.
She's already gone.
Have you ever sharded yourself? I think we answered that. What is God telling me? It's telling me to wrap this podcast up. All right, this is the last one, then we'll wrap. Do you think you're the funniest person in the room? Of course, I can. You find one, B. Get the last one off so I can get into some air.
For $200, would you tell a mother that her baby was ugly?
For free? No, hold on. See, this is one of those questions. This is one of those questions that you, for somebody like me, the first answer is not the best answer. For $200, would you tell the mother that a baby? No.
No.
I would not. My first answer was as the host of Taking No Shorts would be like, I would have told her baby was ugly for free. But behind her back, that's some dirt bullshit. But no, I mean every baby is beautiful. Every baby.
Where's the bullshit button at?
All right.
A bullshit?
You had a chance to have it over there. Yeah.
I don't know where.
You don't know which one it is. It's right here. Unless you got the shades on, right? But they're not medicine in them, right?
No, they're just glasses.
They're just glasses.
A bullshit?
All right.
Yeah.
A bullshit? A bullshit.
Yeah. It's for $200.
Yeah, that's not a lot of money.
That's not a lot of money.
You start adding zeros.
Now
I'll start pointing them out.
That's a major bill, grocery bill. If oh shit! If you just now, and I ain't even smoked no weed tonight, but this is a wonderful premise. If you could remember those stores, those games, the grocery store games where you could put all the groceries in if you guess it, like Price is Right type shit. You guess the right thing. Say you're in a grocery store and you put all these groceries in a basket. You get up to the thing and during the game, and come this woman with this ugly baby, and then it's like, let's make a deal. Do you tell her it's ugly, or you keep these free groceries?
Depending on how many groceries it is.
Let's say because a good thing of groceries for a family of four for a month. Let's say a month worth of groceries for a family of four is $2,000. For two, put that extra zero on it, like you said. For $2,000, $2,000 of groceries, or tell the lady in the other aisle her baby ugly. What you doing?
I'd have been like that lady in Color Purple. You sure is ugly. Exactly. Your baby sure is ugly.
And you walk right through the aisle with your groceries to your car.
Open up the bag of chips on the way out.
On the way out. That's how we do it. What else? What you got?
Would you be okay with letting your partner have sex with a robot?
Fuck yeah. I mean, if it's say here I go with the first thing.
I would say yeah too, because I want to watch that.
No, I won't.
How's that gonna work?
That's some Diddy shit. I don't know. But if it's a hot chick robot, yes. Because you gotta.
That's a twist I didn't think about.
Yeah, it's got to be a hot chick robot. Then yes, she can do it, and I'm gonna be there. Somebody hit me in the comments or hit me up on when this clip come out and let me know if what's the question again, B?
Would you be okay letting your partner have sex?
Would you be okay with your partner having sex with a robot? And I said, it's got to be a she robot. Now
I was thinking like C-3PO coming up.
No, I don't want no smart alecky dude robot smashing my chick. He's smarter than me already because he's a robot. He got that shit in him. So
he probably got settings too.
He got all
stand and vibrate.
No, he got all kinds of attachments and shit. Or she got all kinds of attachments and shit. So she can't have all the fun without your boy. You dig? So yes, I want to be there, but it's got to be on condition. It's got to be like a Kobe contract. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be. Yeah. Now I'm sure that someone on the internet or the socials is going to say you're wrong by saying that it's got to be a chick robot. And what I have to say to you is,
talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game.
Perfect.
all right, what's up?
Oh, just one more. Give me one.
Yeah, of course.
So, would you ever get your wife's name tattooed on you?
Yes. I do that. I got tattoos for less. So if my wife said I want to put my tattoo on, it's yours, baby. It's yours. It's yours. And it's mine.
I always wanted to get a tattoo. So.
Why don't you? Too late? It ain't too late.
I feel old now.
No, get one, man.
Because what I wanted was the Mortal Kombat dragon in the circle.
It's a little dated.
Yeah, with destruction, terror, and mayhem written on it.
Yeah, it's a little dated.
How old would that look now?
That would be dated.
That was
should have got it in the 90s.
Yeah, that was my tattoo back in the day.
Yeah, should have got it in the 90s. It's a pleasure having you, Pause, today. You'll be back next week?
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to thank Steph B. Make sure you check her out at the 6580 pod. Also on her ads at Steph B _B and Steph B on Facebook, or Brooklyn _ Betty. Episode 62 is a wrap. I cannot believe it's so hot in the studio tonight. The air conditioner went out. Imagine that. Okay. I'd like to thank everybody who participated in the chat. That will be Glenda and others. I can't get to you right now. Charge that to my heart. Charge it to my mind and not my heart. For everybody on the IG, thank you for at least stopping in and looking. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hey, just do me a favor, share each one, share one. Just share it, or just get it in the algorithm. I'm asking. I don't want to. What is it when the pastors ask for money? I don't want to televangelize for the podcast, but please, in God's name, I'm joking. Episode 61, the audio will be out earlier next week, Monday or Tuesday, on all audio streaming platforms. If you got it, most popular ones, Google, Apple, Spotify, and some Amazon. I found out I was on Amazon Music. So it's out here, y'all. We just getting started, because again, it's episode 62. So, B, you got any shout outs you want to give, where everybody can reach you at?
Yeah, no shout outs really. Ain't got nobody.
Somebody please give Brent a hot tour.
Hey, adorable.
Yeah, that's right. Give him a hot. Look, I don't hate to beg for you, bro, but
I'm begging up for myself.
Yeah, you begging up for yourself, but God damn, hot tour. This is me, Jay Grizzo, at Jay Grizzo on Instagram, Taking No Shorts Pod on Instagram, Facebook, Taking No Shorts Pod, YouTube at Taking No Shorts Pod, TikTok, all of that. I'm on all the socials. Episode 62 is a wrap. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I think I said it all. Look, guys, if you don't do anything, don't vote for that guy. Peace.